Lake Ann needed a leap because logistically we provide different opportunities every year for a camper. So a camper will come one year and experience a week of camp, and the next year it should be largely different to them. The leap was also necessary because we needed something that moved the camper outside of their comfort zone. We wanted something that took them beyond what they thought they were capable of doing and to a point where they had to put complete trust in God. The leap is a telephone pole that is put in the ground. One of them we have here is about 33 feet tall, the rest are about 26 feet tall. The leap challenges the camper to climb to the top of the pole, stand on the platform at the top, and leap out towards a ball that is suspended in the air in front of them. In the process, they have to put complete trust in a lot of different things other than themselves. They have to put trust in their harness, into their rope, into their belay team that's supporting them, and ultimately they got to put trust in God. One of the biggest struggles that campers have is what I like to call the breaking point. Climbing the pole, if they keep focused and they keep moving one foot in front of the other, getting to the top is not such a big deal. But when you step out on that platform and you realize how high you are, fear starts to overtake your mind. I like to call it the breaking point, and it's the point where you have to transfer trust completely away from yourself into your team, into God, for the strength and the courage to take the leap. Before they ever get on the leap, we talk about their goal. They set a take-home goal, something that they can accomplish this, as hard as this is, that they can put trust in God to get them through the leap. Then we encourage them to think of something when they go home that may be just as scary, maybe just as difficult. That could be things from witnessing to friends, to getting through a bad relationship with a parent or a sibling, and they set that goal. So when they get to that breaking point, when they're standing up there and scared to death, we try to bring them back and remind them, what was your goal that you set? And the goal for the activity, again, is 100% trust, but we want to remind them about their take-home goal. That sort of brings them back into focus a little bit. The other thing we do is we have the ball suspended in front of them, and instead of looking down at the ground, we tell them, keep your eyes focused on that ball. We also use the metaphor there of keeping your eyes focused on God. He's our strength, He's our support, He's our stability. If we can keep our eyes focused on that, we'll be able to take the next step in life, and in this case, take the leap. The significance of the leap in the lives of campers is to take them outside of their comfort zone, to get them to a point where they realize, I really have to trust God, where they realize they can't do it on their own, and realize that only God is their strength. We use the verse Hebrews 11 and verse 1 at the leap, and it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith is the substance of our hope, and really what we teach there is what is underneath you that you're standing on that gives you the faith and the hope to take the next step in your life. Maybe God's calling you to do something that you feel is outside of your comfort zone. What is it in your life that's stable, solid, that you stand upon, that gives you confidence to move forward to what God has called you to do? We ask campers at the beginning, what is it in your life that is your stability? And we'll get answers from friends, to parents, and those are great things, and hopefully it should be stable things in their lives. But unfortunately, sometimes for one camper, a mom and dad may be something very stable, and for another, they're non-existent. And so we really narrow it down to what is the most solid, firm, unshaking foundation in their life, and that's a relationship with Jesus Christ. Some campers that have impacted me personally, we had Aaron Welty here, who was one of our speakers for Reborn. He had cerebral palsy, and we also just a few weeks ago had a camper in the junior high program named Caleb who was dealing with the same disabilities. To climb the leap with those disabilities is a daunting task, and he wanted to do it. He wanted to let go of his crutches there and get on the leap and go up, and he thought with his upper body strength he could handle it, and he did a fantastic job. He got just to the platform at the top, and his legs were giving out and his arms were getting tired, and at that point, for his safety, I decided to harness up and go up and help him, and just to be able to have his foot and put it on my shoulder, and him to be able to get up on top of there and leap off of there, and the excitement that was on his face, and the feeling he had of the accomplishment he was able to overcome there, really to me taught me that I've got a lot of excuses of why I won't do things, why I can't answer things that God's asking me to do, and to see them overcome the disabilities and the excuses that they could have used and do the leap challenged me to quit being a baby, quit giving excuses for stuff, and take the leap that God's calling me to take. The first camper that went up the leap. Tiny little junior high girl, took the leap, came down, and we asked her, what'd you learn through this experience? And she said, I learned that if I can trust God to do this, I can go home and trust God to do anything. And just watching the impact of the leap over and over and over again in campers' lives, they'll stand up on Friday night at the Glory Bowl and just give testimony after testimony of how the leap has allowed them to learn how to trust God to do big things. And that's why I'm passionate about it, because I think it changes lives. God uses it in a way that changes campers' lives week in and week out.